dudes, this is Lydia Cornell. I played Sarah Rush on Too Close for Comfort. And you're listening to Tommy Throwback Kovac on Splat from the Past. Tell them some jokes, Tommy. Love you.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things could get totally radical. Now, I am just so excited by today's interview. I never thought in a million years that this would happen, but it will. I am interviewing the legendary Ed Asner. Yes, Lou Grant himself from the Mary Tyler Moore Show and its spin-off Lou Grant. I'm having him on the show today. He's going to be talking about his brand new memoir, Son of Junkman, and talk about lots of other career highlights and stuff that's going on. I just can't believe that I'm going to be interviewing this legend. This man's a 7-time Emmy Award winner, including an Emmy for the classic miniseries Roots. He was also a 2-time president of the Screen Actors Guild. Oh, I bet he's pretty upset about what's going on there right now. And, oh God, he's just got so many great credits. He was in the Will Ferrell Christmas classic Elf. He was in the Paul Newman movie Fort Apache, The Bronx. He hosted Saturday Night Live once, so I want to mention that. And he's an advocate for autism, especially in children. And I want to talk to him about that as well. And it's just going to be wonderful. So yeah, here is my interview with Ed Asner. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Asner. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. This is
Where are you?
Redding, California.
Oh, you're close.
Yes. This is such a tremendous honor, sir. Thank you for taking the time this afternoon.
Oh, by all means. My pleasure.
So, your memoir is called Son of Junkman, My Life from the West Bottoms of Kansas City to the Bright Lights of Hollywood. What made you write this memoir?
Well, I was hassled by a writer friend who said that I hadn't done it and that I should, and he wanted a chance at it.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take to write?
Well, we spent weeks on it. I don't know the exact time. Weeks, I guess, is the best answer I can give you.
Just a few weeks. Wow, that's a very short time because most people take a few years.
It's more than a few weeks. More than a few weeks.
Oh.
We went back and forth, brought in another writer as well. So it's a joint product of 2 writers and me over a period of at least 2 months.
Okay, just 2 months then. Is it getting a pretty good response from people?
I haven't heard any friends who read it tell me they like it, but that's as far as it goes.
Oh, nice. Well, at least people like it.
What'd you say?
I said, well, at least you know that people like it.
Yeah, I've been assured of that.
Yeah. Did you gravitate toward acting early on in your childhood?
I love to haunt the stage on religious playlists and stuff like that. I love to sing the loudest, but I don't know if hogging the stage was my actual intent. I couldn't. The analysis is yet to come back.
Mm-hmm. Did you do a lot of? Mm-hmm.
I vied for getting the leads in the religious playlist, I must say.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of school plays and community theater growing up?
I come from Kansas City and Kansas.
Right.
And the motto there was, you don't volunteer to be the lead or to be in the play because that would be sissy.
Yeah.
So you wait to be drafted.
Yeah. I was reading that.
Same way in Reading, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
It was probably the same way in Reading, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Same way in Reading. Yeah, we have a couple theater companies here. I was reading that you made guest appearances on stage at Second City in the early years of the company.
Right. Right.
Is that because...
I belonged to a group which was somewhat the genesis of Second City.
Mm-hmm. The Playwrights Theater Company?
Yeah.
That later became the Compass Players.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Who were the guys at Second City in those days when you were performing on stage there?
Paul Sills, David Shepard, Bernie Piven, Joyce Piven, people who became the influences, Barbara Harris,
Yeah.
Reverend, Mike Nichols,
Elaine May.
Elaine May.
Yeah. That's amazing. Was Alan Arkin there?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, that was later then. I see you guest starred a couple times on Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Did you get to meet Mr. Hitchcock?
No.
No.
And I've always resented that fact. He didn't go out of his way to meet me.
Yeah. Especially later when you did the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Yeah.
Because he could have taken credit for discovering you.
He could. And a fool he missed a chance.
Yeah. You also did many episodes of Route 66. Did you enjoy guest starring on that?
I loved it. It was always a good script. They had great writers, and it was always a unusual team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the show was a great commentary on Korean War veterans, I think.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, I think that it was very revolutionary in its day.
I mean, it certainly gave me opportunity to act all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Did you get
at least 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I saw the country while I was doing it.
Did you get a lot of jobs because you were on that show?
I have no idea. I don't know how to what extent they contributed to other jobs. But they were all worthwhile, well written. So I couldn't look bad.
Yeah. You were in the Howard Hawks Western El Dorado. Do you have any good stories about John Wayne or Robert Mitchum?
Well, what was the director's name? I can't.
Howard Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a grand old man, and his suite was next to mine.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a suite because my wife and my twins would come down and visit me from L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And when they weren't visiting, then I was a good old boy and fostered poker games with the Lufthansa pilots and the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Were in adjoining cabins. And I evidently made a lot of noise one night. And very early the next morning, Kovac burst into the room and said, "Ed, I just want you to know that I deprived him of his sleep that night, and that he was going to pass an edict wherein everybody had to go out to Old Tucson every day of the filming, whether they were on call or not." And he said, if I didn't like it, because I could always fly back to L.A. And I was so grateful at getting the job, working for him, and doing a John Wayne movie and a Robert Mitchum movie, that I ran for cover as quickly as I could.
It's also one of James Caan's first movies, too. Do you remember him much from the set?
Who's that?
James Caan.
Oh, no. Well, we had done a special on a New York program. We didn't work together, I recall.
Mm-hmm.
I played a cop in that film, and he was a juvenile delinquent, along with Robert Redford and Andy Prine.
Yeah.
It was called Black Monday.
Black Monday.
Juano Hernandez was the black star who gets killed by these three hoodlums.
Mm-hmm. Which did you enjoy more, playing Lou Grant comedically or dramatically?
Well, playing Lou Grant dramatically is like the guy being ridden out of town on a rail, who said that if it weren't for the honor, he'd rather walk. So comedically, the rewards were great.
Yeah. How did it come about for you to do Lou Grant dramatically?
It was the decision of the two producers. I had asked for the same two producers who wrote Mary.
Mm-hmm.
They would produce the serious Lou Grant show, and they said yes. So I put the baby in their hands, and a month or two later they came back and said, we think we'd like him to go back into the press and make it a dramatic show. I said, whatever you guys say, I trusted them with my life. So they thought that the topics of the day in the press were of sufficient interest that the show would be interesting. And they were right.
Yeah.
Up with the problems of the day, which no other show was doing.
Right. Did it feel weird at all to go from doing comedy as Lou Grant to doing drama?
No, there's not that much difference.
Yeah. I mean, you did have humorous moments on the dramatic show.
Oh,
yeah. Do you have a favorite episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Well, we all speak of Chuckles the Clown Bites the Dust is in our favorite show because it's beautifully written.
Yes. That's my favorite one, and I also love the one where Mary goes out with a journalist who wants dirt on Lou, Murray, and Ted. I just interviewed the woman who wrote that episode, Susan Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the theme of the show?
She goes out with this journalist, and he wants dirt on them.
Oh,
Yeah.
who plays the journalist?
Oh, I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw it.
Uh,
But that was a really funny episode, I remember. But yeah, Chuckles the Clown one is the one that everyone talks about probably the most.
yeah.
Mary's been gone for about 3.5 years now. I imagine you miss her every day.
Is it that long?
Yeah.
Eesh. Duh. Yeah. Well, I'd still take her at a moment.
Mm-hmm. You won 7 Emmys, including one for the miniseries Roots. Are you extremely proud of that role?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm also very proud of Axel Jordash from Rich Van Poor Man.
Oh yeah, that's a
I'm
good
proud
one.
of everyone.
Yeah, I think people.
I was on the pole. I mean,
Yeah. I think people need to watch Roots today, given to what's happened in our country lately with racism. It's just awful.
yeah. Well, I think you keep knocking on the door often enough, and eventually the door opens. And I think the Black Lives Matter movement has finally made an impression on Americans.
Yes, I totally agree.
How can you deny the bigotry of this country?
Oh, it's awful. It's just beyond
We're
awful.
all steeped in the mother's milk of it.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that it would continue this long?
I never. If you got a corn on your foot,
Mm-hmm.
unless it hurts, you're not going to know it. And finally, we came to realize that we've been ignoring the pain for too long.
That's a good way of putting it, Ed. That's a very good way of putting it. Do you have a good story about working with Paul Newman on Fort Apache, the Bronx?
He was delightful. He was wonderful. He was cooperative, generous. Nothing too good you could say about him.
Mm-hmm. In 1984, you hosted Saturday Night Live. How was that experience?
I felt it a failure.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
I didn't bloom into a beautiful gardenia as host, and I wanted to succeed so badly that I tripped over my own feet.
Yeah. I mean, that sketch you did where you're Lou Grant as the military commander trying to get Mary out of syndication, I thought that sketch was hilarious.
I can't even remember it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. That's all I remember from that particular episode.
Yeah.
In 1986, you did a pretty hard-hitting TV movie of the week about eating disorders called Kate's Secret. Do women come up to you and tell you that movie changed their lives?
No. I always felt guilty about that show because here I was a fat doctor, and I was fat while I was being the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. You regret playing that role?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I just felt like a cheat.
Mm-hmm. I think you did a pretty good job in it, actually. You have any good stories about Will Ferrell on Elf?
He is the most inspiring performer I think I've ever worked with. That night, held that title until Will Ferrell came along.
Really? What was it about Ted Knight that made him so special?
He was a funny man. He was a very funny man.
Mm-hmm.
He made me laugh. He made Gavin laugh all the time.
Yeah.
Gavin couldn't stop sniggering every time Ted was around. And he also discovered the ways to feed Ted to get him to respond in some ridiculous way.
Yeah.
Trigger more laughs from Gavin.
That's great. I see that you're an advocate for children with autism.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that start?
I had an autistic son.
Mm-hmm.
And then my older son had a son who was even more autistic. So it's all part of the family.
Oh, yeah. I have Asperger syndrome, so I can relate.
You have what?
Asperger syndrome.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Well, that's an honor.
It is. It is. I mean, I've heard that the schools are a lot more advanced in helping kids with learning disorders now, but when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was pretty tough. My parents struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Did you struggle too with your son?
Well, I kept resisting. He's just energetic. He's not autistic. He's energetic. He's not autistic. I'm still not sure, but the care and training that autism instills in you,
Mm-hmm.
caution, all made it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And he's got a weight problem, which is not unusual.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get the weight problem licked, and he'll be off and running. He's what is it, Foot Locker? Is that who? Home Depot? Huh? Home Depot? Maybe it's Home Depot. I don't know where he works. Yeah. Home Depot. Home Depot.
Yeah.
He has a 3-day job there. And he just got moved into the 3rd day. That means he's doing well. And he's enjoying it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, weight loss is a big problem too for me. My weight, it goes up and down like a toilet. I'm always losing weight, gaining weight.
Yeah, I know. You're talking to another fatty here.
Yeah. But that's good though that you help with autistic kids. Do you do fundraisers and all that stuff?
Now, well, my older son, who has an autistic son himself,
Mm-hmm.
has a brilliant wife, and together they decided to grab an empty space and create the Asner Center, which caters to parents of autistic kids and the kids themselves, and provides them therapeutic instruction.
Oh, that's wonderful. Also, too, you served 2 terms as president of the Screen Actors Guild. You must be just mortified with what's going on right now with the guild.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say?
I'm sorry?
I missed that. What'd you say?
I said you must be mortified with what's going on with the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, I am. I find myself unable to really express it sufficiently. And I'm hoping that the membership finally realize they've been had and rise up in terms of majority voting and throw out the rest.
You think their merge with AFTRA was a huge mistake?
It was a mistake, yes, because the merger was never properly prepared.
Mm-hmm. Do you think...
we did not achieve good portability in terms of the pension, or
right.
we did not achieve good portability in terms of the medical care.
Do you think it had to do with corporate greed?
I don't know about corporate greed. I think it's more basic. It's just me, me, me.
Yeah. It's our world now. Me, me, me. It's terrible. It's terrible. How do you think, though, that things can be improved with the current situation of the Guild?
Well, I think you have to disassemble the vehicle, take it apart, separate the parts, put the parts together carefully, slowly, and securely until you have a running vehicle.
Absolutely.
Taking both worlds and putting them all together.
Do you think that the current administration of the Guild maybe is the problem as well?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. That's really unfortunate. I see so many actors I know on Facebook that I've interviewed just freaking out over the whole thing. It's like, their whole livelihood has been taken from them.
Well, where the hell are they when it comes time to voting?
I know. I know.
It doesn't hurt to vote no,
Exactly. It doesn't hurt to vote no. So do you have any other upcoming projects?
You don't know her.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Yeah, so you don't have any upcoming projects?
I don't. You don't know her.
You don't know her? What? I don't get it.
What's that?
I don't get it. You don't know her?
What?
You said you don't know her?
Yeah, you don't. But you will get to know her. I'll make a star out of her, I'll tell you.
Okay. Well, Mr. Asner, this has been a tremendous honor. Thank you ever so much.
What's your name again?
Tommy.
Tommy Kovac? Kovac.
Kovac.
Be gesund.
Stay safe, sir, and please don't ever retire because we need you.
Well, thank you. You have good questions, I must tell you. You did your research.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm flattered by the way you approached me. It was a good way to develop the territory.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I try. And have yourself just a great day.
God love you. Take care. Thanks, Tommy.
God love you. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Ed Asner. Oh, I can't believe I just interviewed Lou Grant. It was just the most tremendous honor ever. And he's a funny guy. A very funny guy. I don't get the whole joke of you don't know her, but it was okay because it was a tremendous honor to interview this man. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!